Lancia Trevi Volume X VX, 828 1983 to 1984. Motor Magazine conducted a short test of the Trevi Volume X model in 1982. While other manufacturers were pursuing turbocharging as a means to boost power, Lancia used mechanical forced induction, in order to give the impression of driving a larger engined car rather than a tuned one. The result was a car that doesn't feel quick. In short, the Lancia's straight-line performance has plenty of soul but little sparkle. Apart from the changes in performance, Motor reported that the car exhibited the usual Trevi traits: good, bad and indifferent. The gear change falls into the latter category, reasonably positive but somewhat clunky, though the intermediate ratios are nicely spaced. The well-balanced handling and fine grip remain first class and the ride is surprisingly supple. The Trevi Volume X was also tested in continental Europe, with similar conclusions to those reached by British testers. A Belgian test praised the steering, while wondering where the performance went. Instead of the promised 9.6 seconds 0 to 100 km per hour, 62 miles per hour, time, it took them 11.2 seconds. Other performance figures were very little improved over or even worse than those of a 2000E tested earlier, in part due to longer gearing, which still failed to provide a higher top speed. Fuel consumption was as promised, until one tried to access some of the performance promised by the supercharger, when it became very high indeed. Interior fittings and finish received high grades, except for the bizarre dash. The conclusion, stated repeatedly, was that a fuel-injected Trevi Turbo would have made a much better car, and that the considerably cheaper 2000E was just as fast and had lower fuel consumption than the Volume X.